like this particular spread is great. No single clump of Hydralisks is going to come under attack without retaliation from the other two. Or at least that's the theory, but you're busy focus firing buildings. And this Protoss is still staying in the game because of atrociously high resources. And this again is one reason why he loses, because his money was high because his production was low. And that's just another compounding mistake a silver level player I'm working with right now is having. He doesn't understand that he needs to scale production with the number of bases he owns. If you do what I hope you do with this is funny. I don't actually watch, but you're not actually going to do it. The Changeling Wall of Doom is hilarious. Like, again, with the clusters of units here. This spread is significantly better than being on the ramp. Yeah, it's still a little tight, so he gets to do too much damage with storms than he should have done. But you do still win because your concave was better. But let's go ahead and do this real quick. We'll go ahead and rewind just a moment. And we'll fast forward up to the moment where it actually mattered, because I backed it up too far because I'm a fool. Go ahead and fast forward up to here. Is this good? This is indeed good, because here's the second Nidus Swarm. It's done. Units are going. They're fighting. Slowing down. ×2. And now Cybernetics Course destroyed. Now faster. Let's go ahead and take a look at concave. If these were zealots, again, if these zealots were stalkers, these roaches would be dead. Now you back up. Now, if these zealots were stalkers, they would be dead. And let's just take range out of the picture real quick, because yes, I know range 6 is entirely irrelevant when your units are face-butting each other. But just in terms of concave, he has 3 zealots at the front line, and your entire army is raining projectile death on his face. That's just what you really want to see across all boards. Every fight should be a fight not to kill units, but to maximize the effectiveness of yours and minimize the effectiveness of his. Basically, what the objective is, and we'll go ahead and say it's a Protoss player doing this for simplicity's sake, force fields are not necessarily they're not a game-changing spell, but they are certainly a battle-changing spell when the battle determines the game. Because, let's go ahead and take this here, this patch of space, and I pause the game again. This is a pretty wide gap right here, or even just through here. I'll cancel that. But force fields, a force field here, 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 and here. Now let's go back and look at the concave. You have about this much space to wardle through, while the other guy is raining death at you from the top side, and you're trying to just squeeze through this bottom side. Whereas, if you don't try to advance through it, he just creates a dead zone and nothing really happens. So force fields change the way the battle flows. He's creating the scenario he wants to fight under. And that's what I want you to think of combat in terms of. So let's go to natural terrain. Is this spot right here a good place to fight under? The answer is, it depends. It depends because it depends on if you're fighting here and your enemy is fighting up here, or if your enemy is fighting here and you're fighting down here. Because of concave. If both of your concaves are the same, this should be a dead zone. But if you have a squeeze through and you have just the swath of units down here, you're going to win because your number of combat units engaged at that precise second is higher. So it's not necessarily the number of units you have in your army, but how effective each of them are at any given second. Like, back at this zealot fight, or even just right here, we'll use this. All 6 Hydralisks are operating at 100% efficiency, because they are all in range of their target. Whichever one of it might be. It might either be the forge or the gateway. I think you're attacking both at the same time. But, let's say one of those Hydralisks was blocked back here, and your other 5 were right here shooting on this gateway. That's not exactly the best choice, because your concave is incorrect. So just try and think of fights, not necessarily of units involved, unit types, unit counters. I know people are going to rage at me for not saying don't think of unit counters, but think in concaves. Because, yes, Immortals beat roaches in the face. I've seen it happen. It's terrible for me to watch. It breaks my Zerg heart. But 10 Stalkers in the right spot do much more damage than 10 Immortals in the wrong spot. If that makes sense. I hope I've gone over this correctly, because I'd hate for me to not be. But, alright, we'll do another example right here at the very end of the game. Actually, we'll back it up just right here. Concaves. Here we go. Graphical representation of two different types of concaves. You have a concave here, where each unit is at maximum range. We'll back it up and see if I can do this even better. Yes! Marvelous. Perfect. Couldn't have asked for better. This is an improper concave. Well, not improper. It's an okay concave, because units are attacking. However, you have units moving around, which brings me to the point, well, the trouble with concaves. If you're fighting here, well, we'll go back to here, and you fighting over this choke, yes, concaves are going to matter because you just want the number of guns. But here, where you're fighting a stationary target that can't fight back, or you're fighting superior ranged units, like let's say you have Hydralisks and you're trying to gun down a Colossus, just run everything up. Go play tag with it, and then shoot it in the face with everything, because right now these two roaches aren't doing jack for you. They're just walking around the fight going, fireworks. Well, do roaches get fireworks? I don't know. Let's do this. And, fireworks. There we go. But if you just walked everything up and just touched the gateway and then opened up, the gateway would die in significantly less time because everything is firing at it all at the same time. So the two types of concave, which we'll advance here, and now we have it. The first type, which all units are engaged in a literal concave, just all units at maximum range shooting in, and the cluster, we'll call it the cluster. I don't know if it actually has a name, but all units are going to be fighting, but there's no nice pretty concave, and it depends on which kind you want. If you're body blocking something, this may or may not be your best bet. Well, if you're body blocking, that would be your best bet, but to defend this like this ramp right here, don't do this. Do this. Because, yes, units will run up your ramp. However, this is significantly higher output of damage than this. This only really applies to roaches, because roach range sucks. Well, not anymore, it doesn't with the range 4, but in this specific game where they have range 3, roach range sucks. So we'll go ahead and call this replay a replay. And in the last replay I have for you, the Zerg vs. Zerg match, we're going to take it from a different approach. Well, that'll be that. So, good luck, have fun, I hope I have helped you improve your game, and catch you on the next game.